Listen, F1, we can talk about the actual traditional side of Formula One that I know you're involved in now, but talk us through your journey into Formula One esports and how much fun that is, because that scene has just like blown up over the last few years.
Yeah. How much of a F1 fan are you both before I start?
So I don't know much about F1, but I did recently work an event where I was hosting alongside someone that knew much more about
Dark
F1.
Chocolate.
Yes,
I've seen.
Indeed. Oh yeah, I hosted the event with him.
And was Max Verstappen there as well?
Max
Sorry,
Verstappen.
the world champion.
He
I did
was
this
there.
little thing.
See, that's always so funny to me because obviously someone that's like massively into F1 would probably be incredibly nervous by that. But because I'm not like massively an F1 fan, to me, he just seemed like a normal person, which was lovely. And it meant that I wasn't extremely nervous. I'm sure my co-host Dirk was absolutely bricking it though. But yeah, that was good. And because of before I went, I wanted to get a little bit of, I guess, knowledge. So I did a little bit of research and stuff. And then I also did watch Drive to Survive, which people were like, watch that. And I was like, I watched about 3 episodes of it on the plane. And I got really invested into it actually, because they set it out to almost be like a drama show. Yeah. And there's a lot to it.
I think that got a lot of people on board.
It did.
Massively.
Because the scene has grown so much. Like I see people on my timeline these days who I wouldn't have ever thought would be into F1. Yeah. Massively into it and talking about it all the time. So it has grown so much. And I want to know more about why that has happened.
Well,
all thanks to you, Tom.
It's sort of serious
Because
head on now. Yeah, well, the reason it's happened, actually.
well, everyone loved motor racing or sports racing games. They love it and have done for a while. I think lockdown really exacerbated it. Just went crazy because we couldn't go out, we couldn't do certain things. There was no sport on, so the virtual Grand Prix took over, and everyone was like, "What is this sim racing?" I absolutely love it. Also, a financial thing. If you love racing, you get to a certain point where you can't afford to go-kart anymore. It's a brilliant pathway into being noticed and being seen as a really, really good driver.
That is one thing I was considering when I was thinking about what sim racing is. I was like, most other sports, you can, if you enjoy it, you can go out and try your hand at it, you know? You want to do darts, you can go to the pub and play darts. You want to play football, easily done. If you want to go out and drive a race car, not so much a thing that you can go and do. So sim racing, although obviously buying a sim racing rig's probably a lot more expensive.
Luckily,
than
we
going
have a
to
good
football.
few of them here at Guild, which you can book.
But
Go to our
yeah, I
website.
was thinking it's one of those things that you can't just go out and do it.
No, but there's gateways in to get excited about it. And if it's something you want to do, then it is a brilliant investment and it's so much fun. So yeah, I guess they wanted to try something F1. The F1 game was available, made by Codemasters. And we set out in 2017 thinking, all right, let's do this and make an opportunity. And it was mad because the final was in Abu Dhabi at the Grand Prix.
That's
and
crazy.
So as a presenter, bonkers, we've got a villa in F1. The team that's leading the championship are right at one end and the worst team are at the other end. And we were the one next to that, which is quite funny. So we were the furthest away from Mercedes that year. And we're in this villa and it's like, we need to make this work. And I think my pressure was like, I just want to sell these drivers because they're incredible guys and they're kind of, you know, really interesting. Their stories, where they've come from. They've had to give up go-karting. They signed for a driving academy, but then had to leave. All of these amazing sort of narratives. And then I'm at the villa thinking, I just want this show to go well. I just want this show to go well so that we have another one, so that this grows. And now it's year 7. It's hit a bit of I'm not going to drop any gossip on this, but it's hit a bit of a buffer at the moment, which will get sorted, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just amazing. And now the F1 teams are involved and they have their drivers. So Dark Chocolate, who we mentioned, is at Red Bull. He's making all their content. And you've got these drivers that will hopefully go on maybe to be the sim racer for the F1 teams and actually work out what tyre degradation they should be aiming for. And that's what sim racing can help in real life racing. Yeah. So it's been absolutely bonkers. And bonkers as well when they were like in my ear, like Fernando Alonso's coming up the stairs. He's going to join you now. There's a microphone just below you to pick up. So it's just from an F1 fan to be there.
It's amazing.
And then to champion these drivers. And yeah, I've just absolutely loved it. And it's grown and I'm very fortunate and blessed to still be asked back. when I've got no driving ability.
It's funny 'cause I mentioned some of the sim racing setups that we've got here at the HQ, and there was one out and about when it first arrived, and I was like, I'm just going to take a seat in here and set it up. And someone came up to me and went, "Be careful." I was like, "What are you on about? It's just a toy car, innit?" But no, it's very one-to-one. It's like, you're going to break your wrists. I was like, okay, I'm not going on this.
Yeah.
I'll go have a drink.
Those wheels can really snap back.
Spin back. Yeah. It's cool. And I'm going to continue watching you guys do your thing on F1 Esports, because it's one that I specifically want to get into, because I just haven't really invested enough in it. And I think I want to become part of that community.
Do you know what I love from last year when we had a lot of online events, the championship? There was a lot of talk about a particular driver called Thomas Ronhaar cheating somehow, and doing the series, the championship last year, knowing everyone's talking about it online, and I think communities can be very positive. I think they can be incredibly negative. You got to sift through stuff, but they kept saying he's a cheat. He didn't win last year, but this year when we started the year 7, we're a LAN event. You can't cheat. It's everyone set to eat. They're there, and he smashed it. And I was so chuffed for him. He's the finger point up, just across his lips, just shush. Yeah. And I love those stories. That's what I get a real buzz for, is to see the guy that's had to take some absolute heat. Keep saying I'm not guilty of anything here, no cheating, and it is in that because it's a PC world and people are online. But just like that was a real buzz, and I can't wait to
prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, and just be like, no, I am this quick.
Yeah,
and that's the end of that, basically.
I've got a challenge for you right now.
Okay, is it about bees?
Can
we talk about the bees? Right. So obviously,
you need to check your Wikipedia, brother.
You really do.
Yeah.
So before guests come on, I usually have a little look through their Wikipedia, because I thought, trusted source of information.
That's when you know you've made it, by the way. You've got Wikipedia.
And I just scrolled. There's a lot of things that you've done. Also, we never talked about Jinx, because we had
Jinx.
We had Adam on, right? Who also did Jinx, and that was the first time I ever found out about it. So when I saw that, I was really interested. However, what did pique my interest the most is apparently in 2021 via Instagram Live. Do you have many Instagram Lives? Do you?
I think you wrote this personally as a bit.
So listen, I'm way into my honey, but yeah, carry on. I was just trying to get a freebie.
During lockdown, he had purchased his first bee colony and was hoping to release his own brand of honey called Tom Deacon.
Right.
Do you know what? I would love to say that's true. It's not, but I love it though.
Who would have made that up? You've no association with
I don't believe anything on here now.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it's true.
All right, go on, throw another fact.
All right, I don't think you were on the Rob Brydon show.
Oh, I was on the Rob Brydon show. That was good.
I know you were. Dave's one night stand. You were there.
Edited this.
No, this is all real.
It needs to be updated. Everything needs to be updated. I sort of don't. Are you supposed to do your own Wikipedia?
I don't.
Someone else do it? Because I tell you what, I want them to create more stuff for me. If it helps me get a hive, or for free, maybe they'll sponsor me.
Introduced a name, Tom Deacon. I was like, that's pretty clever.
I'm ready for Tom Deacon.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm glad we clarified that. Now it is time for. Bizarre. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Survival mode.
Oh, okay. He's done the voice again.
Nice.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Can I have a little moment just to compose myself after that? I wasn't expecting that voice to come out.
So what we do is we ask all of our guests to take part in this, right? The last video game you played, first things first, you need to think about what that was. Have you got it?
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
I was listening. I was in listening mode, not doing mode.
And then you have to imagine that tomorrow morning you wake up within that video game, within that world, and you need to tell us how you will survive.
What was the last game you played? I'm really curious. He's not even told us yet.
All right. Well, look, I mean, confession time. Well, there's either Football Manager or right. So, am I going to survive in that world? Very well, thank you. I know all about formations, and But then I was thinking about it the other day. Last of Us was the game.
Oh,
that I could play. Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2.
Which I don't know if I want to be in that world trying to
You're
survive.
in it now,
it was terrifying.
Wakey, how are you going to deal with it?
How am I going to deal with it? Just headphones on. The bit in the sort of cinema area was terrifying. How am I going to survive? I'm going to have to be a brave boy. And what I'm going to have to do is find some Tom Deacon honey as soon as I can. Dose up on that and get running. That's what I'm going to do.
Like
running. Never stop running. and get out of there.
What's your
You got good stamina?
what's your weapon of choice?
But do you know what? I've had to improve because for some reason someone was like, you should come back and play football. And then my hamstrings were like, that was a terrible idea. Don't listen. Don't be swayed, you sheep.
So your hammies are going to go and you're going to get eaten by a zombie is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but then
Not
I can
before he
offer
collects
them
his honey.
honey. Do zombies like honey?
I'm sure they do.
They got a sweet
They like
tooth.
everything.
They
They
love
do.
it.
It's flourless. They might be gluten-free. Do zombies worry about that? Anyway, sorry.
Most likely.
That's how I would survive as best I could. The other one, Fallout. I mean, I don't terrible at that, surviving. Last of Us 2, I would try and remember some of those moments that I've been through, maybe being ambushed by a gang, and just hide and not come out.
Been ambushed by a gang.
Yeah, in Last of Us 2, just towards the end.
Oh!
I don't want to ruin it,
real
but
life.
I thought you were on your way here.
always. People are desperate for that honey. There he goes, that guy who's a beekeeper back from 2021.
Where did this
He's got a
info
colony.
come from? I think you're lying to us. I think you do have a
He
bee
does have
colony.
it.
Yeah.
He does. I believe him. No, I don't believe him.
You believe in Wiki?
There was an offer going on in Lidl, you know, that middle aisle, and they had a beekeeper's outfit. And I thought, you know what? If it's reduced, I'm going to get involved in this.
It seems like I wasn't surprised at all. It seemed like something you would do, to be honest.
I look the sort of person, I know this is a podcast, but just Google me, not the one with the soul patch. He looks like he would. But the guy now, currently,
All right, let me have a look.
do I look like someone who'd keep his own bees?